Hello, hello. Welcome to Disco's channel. I'm DiscoSoup, and today we are starting our first episode of a full campaign playthrough of Worlds Upon the Wind. Now, I'll be with you in just a moment. I'm going to send out some shout-outs to everyone on social media so they can come watch with us. So, just one moment, please. While you're here, I just want to say we're happy to have you. Thanks for stopping by. This is something I'm going to be doing pretty regular. I apologize if I'm quiet. I'm told that my voice is pretty soft. It's something I'm working on, especially because I'm a school teacher by trade. But that's okay. Okay. Sending that to the Worlds Upon the Wind Discord, and then I'm going to just send out a message on Blue Sky, and we'll get started. I'm really happy to be able to share this game with you. It's something I was not expecting, but it's turned out to be a real gem. This game just came out about a week ago. And there we go. So, what we're going to be doing is playing all the way through. Obviously, I won't do the whole playthrough today, because that wouldn't be realistic. But I will do this in multiple parts. And the goal is to play the whole thing through with you guys.
What's up, everybody? This is Eternal Electronics.
Now I'm going to be monitoring chat on my phone. So anyways, if you are not familiar with this game, it is marketed as a cozy roguelite. And that's exactly what it is. There's a lot of pretty cool inspiration here. The art is taken from Japanese history, and there's a lot more going on with the story than you think at first. So I won't spoil anything for you. Pardon while I'm trying to get my earpods fixed. Oh, hey, look at that. I'll do that later. But the game evolves in a way that I've never seen it in any other type of game, the story-wise. Little details just kind of show up, and the world changes. It changes with you. It's very immersive, and this artwork is absolutely gorgeous. But the main storyline here is that the world at some point cracked into a bunch of floating islands. See, it's like this right here, and they're called shards. One thing I think is really cool about it is I've actually written a tabletop RPG I did last year about the similar theme, except it's set in a far future, um, like Gene Wolfe type setting. But I love the idea of a world that cracks into parts. It is right up my alley. Now, we won't be playing the... oh, am I having difficulties? There we go. We won't be playing the tutorial missions. Oh, well, I guess we will. So what we do in this game is drag these cards, which are called glyphs, over to these slots here. You see they correspond. This one right here, the square, is called a craft glyph. This brown one is called stability. These orange ones are change. So we don't have in our cards what we need here to fill in this. So once per uh, exploration, we get to draw more cards. So some of them have different symbols. This pink one here is called connection. It's one of the rarer ones, and uh, it's kind of, in my opinion, the most important one in the game. This plus sign, this blue plus sign here, is called radiance, and the green one is called growth. So there. Now we've got that part built. We want to build this. Let's see, what are we looking at here? Oh, we're not going to have enough to get that done, but this is the tutorial, and I can't remember exactly why. So let's invoke the glyph's blessing. Oh yeah, that's right. So if you right click, it sounds like I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm actually in my main save file, just about at the end of the playthrough, because again, I'm a school teacher and I'm on summer break, even though I'm doing some schooling, so I get a little more free time. But if you right click on these, the little text at the bottom there is a power that activates. So now we're going to start. This is a shard here, and this monk here, they make it out like this is a Buddhist thing. There's a little more going on in the story, and I won't spoil it now, but it's a pretty brilliant development. Each site offers several developments. Okay, so what we do here is we've already had this is called a foray right here. This vista, we've got the mountains, the wasteland, and these cards. Every foray you get at least 2 of these sites. Here's the mountain and the wasteland. It depends on what you click. And you can fill them in, but you can only fill in, like at this leftmost column, 1 of these per card. So what we are looking for, actually, oh, okay, we don't have a target for this one. Normally we have a target, but activating this would give us these resources. Activating this would give us these resources. Let's see, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Well, we have, this is our remaining deck draws. Let's go for something kind of balanced. Let's go here, get the rock garden and the wasteland, and let's get, well, we can't do that. Let's start with smoldering crater. I find that so each of these is a resource. This is beauty, this is adventure, this is production, this is safety, this is balance. And you need those in order to progress. Normally at the top there would be a goal showing how much of whichever resource we need to get in this foray, and then various events, if you want to unlock better options, require you to have a threshold of the certain resource. So let's go, well, let's go here. That's going to give us safety and beauty, so we'll go, and we've already got some beauty. We'll go for those up there next time. But see, we can hit continue here, and that'll fill in one that's already partially filled in. So now let's do this. So this radiance one has a power to fill. If I right click it, it's going to fill a random one that it can legally fill. It'll be one of these 2. I really hope that it's the blue square, but yeah, well, that's okay. I can still get this. Boom. And now we're done. It's a really simple but engaging game, and everything's very immersive. And we did pretty well. I'll try and just only speak when there's something to explain. At the end, they call the cards glyphs. You have an option of one of these three random that you can add, or you can choose to remove one from your deck. And as you get more powerful, see, like, this card is pretty cool. It lets you look at the next 6 cards in your draw deck, and you can discard any of those and put them back in the same order. So you can arrange your next several card draws with it. This one will fill in 2 slots randomly, but you have to discard 2 cards. Doesn't seem all that great because you have to discard 2 cards, but if you save it till the end, it's really powerful. One of my all-time favorite cards in my other save file is one called 6. Discard 6 cards, and then fill in 6 spaces. And the cool thing is, if you don't have 6 cards to discard, you still get to fill in those things. So you just save it for last, and then you're golden. That said, I think right now we're going to go with look at. Okay, so yeah, this right here, this is our goal. 6 production and 4 safety. So now this is how we select. We can go to the canyon and the mountains. We can go to the scrubland. I really like canyons. I don't know why. They don't show up as often, so I think they're fun. Let's go here. We're going to start at 4A here, and we've got plenty of... Okay. Yeah, inspiration is your HP. So by whatever amount, if you miss getting these goals, like if I didn't fill anything in and I just ended it now, I would lose 6 plus 4 is 10, so I would lose 10. Sometimes events can also cause you to lose inspiration. This is your total of all that you have, of all the yields. So they've got also this really helpful glowing stuff to show you what you're looking at here. So let's go here. We'll get this mulching shed going. I can save that container. So an orange grow or change. Let's see. Do we need change? No, we'd rather have a brown one. Stability. So wait. Yeah, stability. So let's get rid of that, and then we'll have 8 cards we can download or draw. And to be honest, I'm going to take a little risk, but because we can't really lock ourselves out of this result now, I'm just going to hit fill, and hey, that got me the one I wanted. That's cool. So now I'm going to put this here. Our risk taking paid off. I don't want this, but I am going to put this up there just in case I for some reason don't get... oh, actually I won't, because that's my connection right there. You can't save things, though, when you draw new cards, so I wasn't really going to be able to get that. So now, yeah. This, everything's got a tooltip, which is great. I'll go over some of these words here. So when it says top, it means that the card associated with this symbol, which you can see there is toil, will go on the top of our deck. And this will go away because I'd cast it without playing. This, I can get rid of this card to straight up get 5 safety. This would discard one of the cards here to draw another one, straight up 5 beauty, and then this is of course the card that we were talking about earlier. So, like, let's get this play though. We're gonna be done with this 4A. Now, also, take a look at this artwork here. So we've got this mulching shed I'm pointing at now, and then when you bring this here, that's going to change. And the cool thing is, these little things we've made show up in the landscape. You can see right there, that's our indigo shrub patch, and this right here is our gorge way station. And then the city, when we click this, is going to gain that feature. However, I always like to just cast those little guys, because you can continue playing with your cards a little bit after you've done everything. So there's nothing here that's useful to me because I've already filled things in, but I am going to discard these cards and I'm going to draw another one just to see if we can get something that, nope, but that would give us a little extra yield. But managing and doing additional draws is pretty important. So insights is your XP, and this is our current yield output. And the cities get a unique name because of that. So this right here, connections, is a really, really useful symbol. And then also we can, if we don't need this connection, discard this to get straight 4 knowledge and 4 beauty. So this is what we're going to go with. So this monk is talking to the enlightened one, whoever that is, although the enlightened one is not talking back. So, but this guy here wants to rebuild the world. Oh, yeah. And we're going to finish this expedition. Normally, on a shard, and if you quit before you lose all your health, you get bonus XP. So there's a pushing your luck aspect to it. And this is Gekkoshima, an island that we're going to make our base on. This is kind of your playback here. When you have these little symbols here, it shows what you discovered during play. So these are new developments that we built. And now here we are. This is one of the main characters, the scribe. He's praying to this prophet that doesn't ever seem to talk back. But in the age before the shattering, your sacred word came to us through relics. We must gather such relics. I pray that we'll be worthy enough to reclaim them. So, we're going to learn more about the relics and events. This is an abstraction of the island that we just put together. Obviously, it's just a small part of it. This is the the meditation building. When you have that exclamation point, there's new content, and then these are new skills we can get. Max HP, more events to show when you foray. That's kind of important. Reshuffle your glyphs once per session. That's important because sometimes you'll get an absolute and that can save, even though you can lose if you the redraw or make any items, you get to start that round over. This line here increases the probability of glyph, and then this gives cards. There's not. We're going to get this. Grants insight for every element of any type that not recognized foils and rays. So this makes it the biggest build we can get. And it's because of our this we can talk always here. Someday. You see. Let's start next edition. Now here's a brand new shard. Looks kind of like the old shard. Our goal is going to be beauty, and this tooltip usually just shows the yield that's relevant to what you're doing. So we want to push out a little bit. I'm going to save that small building though for let's go here. That'll unlock a big one. Bigger area. So now that we have, see these sparklies, this means there's an event here. You get an event that you can do things with if you fill it in. This right here is enough to get our whole path for this foray filled. So we're going to do that, and I'll show you an event. The Fire Mountain. One night, the Fire Mountain splits open with a roar. Ash falls like gray snow, and stones tumble down the slopes, glowing in the dark. The villagers flee across the last undamaged bridge, leading away from the eruption, but some are still waiting to cross. A burning boulder crashes into the bridge, collapsing it and leaving families stranded on the far side. Under the burning sky, volunteers spring up from amongst the villagers, a group of strong youngsters claiming to be the best able to help, and a group of seniors saying they've already had long lives and should be the ones to take the risk. So, we're going to choose. Search for alternatives, see how this is blacked out. We only have 5 adventures and 0 knowledge, so we can't do the search for alternatives, but we could do life glyphs, since we have 3 of them, to let the young do it, or we could do stability to let the elders mount the risk, or we could let the volunteers draw lots, a random. I'm going to go let the young guide the stranded villagers. The youngsters convince the crowd that they have the quickest feet and the strongest lungs. The fittest of them gather their torches, ropes, and axes, felling trees to create a makeshift bridge. They disappear into the smoke, moving quickly through the ruins, calling out loudly to the people lost among the wreckage. By daybreak, many of the rescuers return, coughing and burned, but some of the families do not return at all. So we've got 20 balance from that. It's pretty good. Now we're going to go here. We've got a couple growth, so let's do that. And you see these indented, like if I were to fill this in, I wouldn't be able to fill in that. So we've got to work on this. So we're going to do this. And even though like there's an orange here, I have to fill in this triangle first, the spirit. So I'm going to cast this, discard it, and draw one. That doesn't help with this, but it does give us 5 safety. There we go. And some XP, so that's nice. Now, let's see. Well, we're not going to get that event, I don't think. But we are going to get this 25 beauty and this other 5 beauty. So, see up here, we've got 7 extra XP because of that. Alright. Yanagise. Yanagi means willow in Japanese. Okay, so we take a look at what we've got here. We've only got 1 triangle, but that's not the best, I don't think. So what spread does is you get rid of this, but it would make a copy if you had any other card with the craft symbol in your row. It can be super useful, usually not of the craft though. This one, continue, fills in something from a row you already have at least 1 symbol filled in, and satisfy 2 means that it would add 2 of the yield of whatever you've got, just not above what you've got. So I think we're going to go with the flow. Let's choose another location. We're looking for balance and food. And I know a really good way to get food. The different terrain types have different yields that they're good at. But we're going to do the steps and the small buildings. Small buildings really good for food. Okay. However, this is where they try and get you. We've got 2 events. But if we do these, we're not getting any food. Well, Kampai, my friends. Fortune favors the bold. At max, we're only going to lose 5. And sometimes events give you food. So let's see. The first tea. The new tea house is complete. Its doors open to the breeze. An old couple is serving tea to those moving on with the expedition. They usually serve simple green tea with a few snacks and sweets, but maybe this occasion calls for something more elaborate. So, we can order a full dinner from them, make it simple, make it pretty, or we don't have time to sit and talk. However, this question marks, they get filled in as you choose them. I'm, again, pretty far in the game, and this, I know what I want. Focus on simplicity. New glyph received. Tea, right there. The blue border indicates it's rare. You can see it's a lot better because it's got three symbols. Also, you'll find out later the number of strokes in the kanji on the card, pardon, on the kanji of the card can be more useful. So, if we were to discard it, we'd get 2 HP back, and we would satisfy 4, which look up there. We're not going to have any food. And the cool thing is when you grab one of these cards, it goes directly to your hand. So, I'm going to do that. Well, let's see what we need first. Let's go here. Some more beauty. And then now we've got 3 growth and 1 connection. Honestly, I think we're just gonna go with this, so that way we'll at least be guaranteed to only lose 1 HP, and we can now draw an extra card too. We've got pretty decent odds. Okay, we'll get rid of that guy. Okay, bye. Yep, okay, so we've got what we need. Doom, and then here we can just right click that it says continue. Oh, dummy me. I forgot to do this. However, look at that. Right click to fill, and it'll fill that one. Flower arrangement. The Garden Master's florist is preparing an arrangement for the township's founding ceremony. She must choose the anchor, a single strong branch reaching up into the heavens. Everything else will bend and flow around this anchor to complete the arrangement. She studies the available choices, noting the true essence of each branch. So, we have a sufficient number of glyphs in our deck to choose any of these. Spirit glyph, choose the twisted pine, choose the supple willow, choose the budding plum. Now, I think we're always going to have 3, 1, and 1. That's like within what we start. But let's just go with the plum. The florist selects the slender plum branch, dry but for a few tight pink buds. She anchors it completely vertical, emphasizing the starkness of the wood, and supports it with a line of pale reeds, bowing away, leaving a wedge of empty space. Finally, she adds broad, dark green leaves just above the water level, drawing the eye to the tiny buds waiting to bloom. So we get 10 beauty. We're up to 100 beauty right now. And we can discard this, cast it for 8 more beauty, and 8 food. And now we've met our goal, and we're doing this. So just extra XP. Oh yeah, this means it's like a special, like it's unique. So we're not ever going to see this for the rest of the expedition until we go back home. But like, we could get another cricket choir at the next place. And they kind of have little pretty additions. So we're going to hit end of the foray. And boom, Sensuda, Garden Pond Field. Okay. Now what are we going to add? So Conjure. Conjure is different from the one that's at the top. See how it's got both of those? Conjure means you discard it and you will conjure this top one here, Rest. So that'll come into your hand. You get rid of this for a card that's only got 1 symbol, but it allows you to get HP back, and on the top of your deck, you'll then have, if you can draw again, a Spirit and a Radiance, and you can get more HP back. Let's go with, let's go with this one. Even though I would have liked that Radiance. So, we're going to do another one. We're looking for safety. And let's just see. Oh. Oh, there we go. Sometimes the little selecting circle doesn't show up, and if you hit escape, it will. So, here, let's do some scrubland. See what we got there. Start foray. Okay. Well, clearly we want to do this. So let's lock them in to our choices. And yeah, I'm gonna go with that anyways. If I can. Let's see. kind of rough actually. We've only got one square, but we got to do this. So I'm actually not gonna, definitely not gonna be able to get that. We're very unlikely to. But let's just try. Anyways, we're gonna hit satisfy too, and I'm gonna redraw. Okay, perfect. So we've got enough to finish this, and we can discard that if we want, which we're going to. We'll get this. Oh, oh yeah, look at that. Okay, well, let's go. Conjure anything? Nope. Okay, for some reason I was thinking that was a triangle. My bad. So let's see, we've already got plenty of balance. We don't have any production, but we don't have any orange, so we're gonna do this. Go here, conjure this, because I know we can get something from it. Oh yeah, just inspiration, but we're already at. So we're gonna lose 8 HP. Not great, but it happens. Especially early in the game when you don't have a lot of powers. Gain 20, lose 5. Okay, this is a pretty decent one. Discard one card, conjure 2 random cards, and these random cards can be anything. Sometimes you get really powerful ones. Oh yeah, normally after a mission or two, you get a scout that between 4As 3 and 4 goes out and you have to do this whole choose your own adventure thing with him. But he hasn't joined us yet, so let's focus on. Okay, here we go. Mountains and river. See, that's the maximum yield of this spot here. So if we only need 20. Do we want to do the rice polishing mill, or the sky pathways? Let's see what they. It's probably going to be easy to get the rice polisher. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. We'll focus on getting these. Soggy mill. A crack in the mill race caught the millers unprepared. Several sacks of freshly polished rice lie sodden by the wall. The millers must act quickly. If left alone, the rice will spoil, and the rot will spread throughout the mill. So we can't pound it into mochi because we don't have enough production. We can spread it to dry as much as possible, or we can share it freely. You don't always have 2 connection glyphs, so I'm going to do that. Settlers gather in the mill yard, each handed a steaming bowl of thin porridge. Notches are carved into the mill beam to mark each guest. What could have been a waste of grain turns into an opportunity to bring everyone closer. So we got a relic in here. I'm circling where it's at. It's right up here. Relics are powerful and persistent. Oh, sorry. I just got a Discord message from the dev of this game. I really hope he shows up. Okay, so this particular one is called a meal tally, and it reads, every 4 times a development is completed, draw a glyph. So the developments are these little things here. You can find yourself getting several in a foray. Right now you'll probably get between 1 and 4 of them done in a foray because you've got usually 2 sites and not a lot of cards. This is pretty decent. It's not the best one, but it's good. Now, this is a legacy event because remember they told us that we were going to be looking for relics. An old monk sits on a straw mat by the shard's edge, watching the cloud sea stretch to the horizon. He has prayed for guidance every morning since he came to this shard. Today he thinks he hears an answer. The Enlightened One wants the people to carry a small reminder of their purpose. Choose a charcoal bead, a seed pouch, a copper ring, or an herbal scent bag. I don't actually know what these choices do. I know that I've chosen the seed pouch in my main, so I think we're going to do a charcoal bead this time. From the ashes of old fires, the monk shapes tiny beads. Each one leaves a dark mark on his fingers. Remember the ashes of the old world, lest you lose humility, he hears in his mind. If the world is to be reunited, you will have to get your hands dirty. In days to come, beads will be pressed from pure charcoal, polished until they shine. Some will hang one at their throat, others will adorn their belts with them. The beads will spread quickly through the new towns, the people feeling as if they carry embers still faintly glowing with purpose. Oh yeah, I've had this relic before, but I have not gotten this specific event. Okay, so charcoal bead. Whenever an industrial development is activated, restore one inspiration. So an industrial development would be something that makes something. You'll be able to tell by the names of them. So this explorer, he's offering his service. He's the one who does expeditions, or not expeditions, surveys, scouting, and he's going to be a character that helps you. So in future expeditions, we're going to have little breaks. So yeah, see, every three forays. Do we do them now? I'm not sure. But we got to get some balance, or else we're going to be eating this pretty bad. So let's go here. And okay, we can fill that in. Oh, my boss's boss's boss is texting me. 1 second. You happen to see me doing something embarrassing out in public. Okay. So now we've got this thing that could immediately fill that in, but since we already have the stability glyph, we're just gonna do this one. Yeah, let's see, fill in. I forget, what does this conjure immediately? Oh, yeah, just come with those. Well, we're actually going to do this way. Fill that in. We're going to continue. And then we are going to conjure this because we can add a little HP back. Okay. That was a pretty good run. See, we got 3 developments in already since we got it, and that was after our first development. So, perfect timing. Fill 2, discard. So this is kind of nice. We do need a square. I'm gonna do this one because that could end up getting us extra XP, save us when we're in a spot. Okay, choose a foray location. What are we looking for? Knowledge and production. Okay. Well, so we need a significant, well, higher amount of knowledge. You'll notice I've found that knowledge and adventuring probably, well, actually I know where you can get adventuring now, but knowledge is probably one of the harder ones to grab. Oh, well, okay, here we go. We'll do this lake and forest. And we'll have the lake focus on knowledge and the forest on production. Okay. So, well, it'd be nice to do the cloth rinsing station. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I didn't realize you get the tooltips right off the bat. But here, see, this kind of explains what we'll need for the event. May require you to have these relics. So, since we don't have those relics, we're not going to be able to do anything with it. If we were to do this, event and then come back here where it says may grant question mark question mark question mark. Once we finish every one of the choices, it'll fill them in as we go. And when we have all of them, we'll be able to see every possible result from it. So we're just going to worry about getting down to here. Okay. And then what do we have here? Well, let's see. See, this will take some balance from us, which we've got plenty, and some beauty from us, which we also have plenty. So let's go here first, and let's see what we get for an event. Deep in the forest, the woodcutters pause at the foot of a towering tree, easily the largest they've ever seen. The bark is scarred, and most of the limbs are either broken or bare. A few birds' nests in hollows once shaped by age or lightning. The tree is not dead. Two thin branches are lush with pink petals, reaching for the light. Oh, I love this. So I'm going to digress just a little bit. This is such a fun game, and Max, who made it, is so... he's got a lot of integrity that shows through when I'm reading about the game. It's $10 on Steam. There's never going to be any other monetization. Any updates are going to be free. Everyone should be playing this game. He curates some really beautiful art. These prints are amazing. They're my jam. It's my happy place. Japan is probably the most fun I've ever had. So, anyways, I love it. Let's see, what are we going to choose? Fell it for timber, establish a care routine, or prune just enough to help it grow. So we're always going to have a Radiance Glyph. We're always going to have a Craft Glyph. We may not always have 30 Harmony, so I'm going to go with that first. A schedule is made. Each week, a few woodcutters visit to check roots and trim dead branches. They put a small sign to mark the tree as maintained. Soon, such signs start appearing all around the forest, and our relic is the forester's staff. Whenever a yield is gained, so like anything you get, by activating a forest site development, so any one of these things within the forest, gain 5 more. That just makes forest more valuable to us. So for instance, we would get 30 production. Ooh. I have a child in my ear. Okay. Now, let's see. What else can we do? We're going to have to get this. We want to get as far along in it as we can. Get this done, because why not? And also because if we don't fill this in and we use our continue glyph, it might fill in something that we really don't want filled in, or that we could have filled in but we're no longer able to. So, okay. I do believe that increased the negative yields as well, but I could be wrong. Okay, so we're going to hit continue, and oh good, we got the radiant symbol, which is harder to fill than the growth symbol. Okay, so you always want to drag. Oh, no, see, oh, my laptop is just crap, and so I've boned myself here. It right-clicked. As I was telling you guys, you should always drag. Now, I saved myself from certain doom with that very last thing. We're going to have 1 inspiration left. Whoop-de-dingle. But... okay. Yeah. These are both really good. Blessing, take note of that term, okay? Blessing means that if you cast this, you then get double yields for the rest of whatever stage you're playing of that specific yield, which is pretty good. This is a really good one. Let's go with this one. I don't remember if on the first, we could quit now and get ourselves a little extra XP, but let's try and do this all the way through. I want to get 6 settlements. 30, 20, oh my gosh, this is scant. So you'll find, see, okay, here we go. This has more potential. You will find yourself in some games just at a spot where you know there's not enough of a certain yield to get you through, and that's okay. Nice, because let's see. This development has just about everything we need. We would need to get this and then here, but we've also got that that other one. Sorry. Okay. Trampled blossoms. Oh, crap. A herd of wild horses has descended upon the meadow. Perhaps their ancestors were once beasts of burden, but little of that docility remains. They are currently treating the magnificent blooms with the same respect as one accords common weeds. They're ruining the view, a settler grumbles, watching a particularly chubby pony chew on a bellflower. And besides, we could put these beasts to good use. So, spirit glyphs, capture the horses and put them to labor. 3 stability glyphs, drive them off. 20 food, draw them away with a better offer. This, if you get this event like first thing, you're boned because it doesn't have a lot of good outcomes. But there we go. Baskets of salted turnips are placed at the meadow's edge, leading away from the flowers. The herd politely agrees that turnips taste better, and even allows the settlers to walk among them. They do not stay, but before they leave, they rub against the trees, leaving tufts of coarse hair caught in the bark. So we get 10 balance from that, and the tuft of horsehair. At the start of each foray, gain 10% of total shard harmony. And I'm not actually sure how that works from that wording. I think it means 10% of what you have here already, you gain an additional. So I've seen games, because I've got yields multiple hundreds, to where you will start a harmony settlement and it'll just be good. So this is a really useful relic. Alright. Oh, and you know, I wasn't even thinking. I didn't realize that that's not in line for that. So if we really wanted to get things, we should go here. Get this at least started. Forge and Glade. Okay. Well, if we could get guaranteed like both of these, I would fill this in, but I wasn't thinking. Um, so definitely got to go with this one. And then actually probably just go like this. And then if we can get to that event, that'll be like a nice little bonus. But okay. Alrighty. So we need brown. Yeah, we got it. And triangle. We don't got it, but check this out. We've got to continue. So we'll be able to cast. Where's right here? And satisfy too. There we go. And so that's the Eternal Glade right there. Right now we've got this little wildflowers. We can't fill anything in except for the herb garden, so let's do that anyways. Just get that extra yield. And there's the herb garden. Okay. Lastly, cool. Alright, now, in most expeditions, after 6 settlements, you get another thing going on. And I want to see if that happens on the first mission. Because on my first mission, in my main, I did not, again, connections, you want connections. I did not make it to 6 points. So Okay, they're doing a regional survey. They normally have the surveys after the third one, but you didn't recruit the guy till the fourth, so. Okay, let's go here, start the survey. This green thing means that you're going to get something new. In the case of these surveys, it has a number of which how many of them possibly could be new. Now let's see. The biting swarm. The survey team has reached a particularly treacherous swamp. In order to prepare for the rest of the expedition, they have spent several days constructing a narrow bridge raised on bamboo stilts above the muck. As they are nearing the end of their construction, a thick swarm of biting insects descends on the area, making the work unbearable. So, now you get to choose one of four ways you're going to do it. And you have to have the symbols to fill in. Let's see. Use mud, banish with fragrant herbs. We can't do that. The star here means any symbol, and it's usually the least desirable outcome. So let's just, this doesn't seem like it's going to end well either. You know what? Let's use mud. Now, we're likely to die at this stage because we only have one resolve left, and oh, we lost 10 beauty. So, yeah, the scouts slather mud on their exposed skin, successfully protecting themselves from insect bites. However, by the time they're done, the whole group is walking in a cloud of musty stench and stale sweat. There are so many events in the surveys that I really don't remember them all, so I'm probably going to be making some bad choices. Wild fruits. The team stumbles upon a grove of trees, drooping under the weight of plump fruit. They look a bit like old world persimmons, but they have grown wild since the shattering. The scouts are quite hungry, but they find it suspicious that no birds or insects seem to be touching the fruit. So, see, if you have Tin Adventure, you can try it raw. I usually like to do this, but we don't have that, so let's cook it and see what happens. The team sets up a campfire and boils the fruit into a sweet, nutritious paste. They leave their bellies full and their rations replenished. Not bad. The mudslide. A recent landslide has deposited a massive pile of loose earth and uprooted shrubbery across the pass. The mud has already settled, but it's still a major obstacle. Okay. So let's see, what are we going to do? We can't clear the path. We can try scrambling over the top, build a causeway. Oh yeah. And if you see this, and it's got nothing under here, that just means that you're going to get through it with no negative consequences. So I'm going to build a causeway. The surveyors lay logs over the mud and pack the gaps with smaller branches until the mud is barely visible underneath. They get across safely, and the causeway will help the rest of the expedition once they catch up. So these things seem kind of straightforward. When you don't know what the consequences are going to be, you've got some danger. By the time you've unlocked more of these options, the cost to make some of these choices will start to increase. So it balances. Caught in the rain, a sudden downpour catches the survey team on an exposed edge. My daughter wants something, excuse me. Okay. Just ahead is a small pine grove full of natural hollows. They seem perfect for sheltering a small group, but the ground is strewn with animal bones and bits of hide. Okay. I don't remember what either of these do, so I'm going to try and get a square craft. That's not one. And since this is our last event, let's redraw. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Now we know we're guaranteed to survive. Okay. There we go. Now we've passed the survey. Let's gain some of that. I don't think it gives us extra XP during a survey, but it still does give us resources. Because if you ever find yourself out of resources at the end of a stage, whether it's a survey or if it's a foray, you will lose your HP, your inspiration. So, okay, this does not have after 4A6, the extra thing. So I'm just going to finish the expedition now since we don't have a good chance of surviving. And we get 19 bonus insight points for returning now. I don't think we would have earned 19 on the next one. We got 94 insights. All these. Unlocked these. Unlock these. Built for the first time. Not bad overall. So, let's see. The expedition was a success. The shards are full of new adventures, new places to explore. And they're talking. I won't go through all the conversations with you, because you should really be playing this game on your own, if you get a chance. But at the same time, I really love hanging with you guys. So, the new quest: establish the shard capital after 6 forays, and then finish the first convergence. You'll see what that's all about. Basically, every 6 connection. Okay. So now, let's see. What do we want to get? We got 99 sites. Rain relics. Yeah, that's a good one. Everything's to be there. I'll show you. Just get useful, but having this random is more useful. And then this we get from 4 events, which no, it's not that yet because it gives all the time. So we're going to start and probably to get to the capital. Okay, so for 4 times development is completed, draw a glyph. Whenever yield is activated in forest site, development gain 5 more. It doesn't look like there's a lot of forest there. I'm going to do this. Yeah. Okay. So, desert and scrubland. There we go. Now, let's see. We got knowledge is here. Can we get... Yep. Okay, we can get knowledge with an event. So, we are going to focus first on getting this, and then we'll get the firewood coppice. So, brown earth. Gain some production and an underground storehouse. But yeah, just remember, learn from my mistakes. If you are playing on a laptop, watch the placement of your fingers on the trackpad because you will accidentally cast things instead of, playing what you want. So this is not a great opening hand. I am going to divine. Okay. Yeah, we don't need the connection, so let's get rid of that. We're instead going to be looking for, as you can see here, stability, craft, and radiance. Taking a gamble here, but okay. Well, nah, we're taking a gamble because we should have. Should have, but we didn't. Well, we're only gonna have 7. So we're gonna be a little or we're only gonna have 3. It'll be 7 short, but that's okay. So what the fire leaves. The gatherers worked hard, perhaps too hard. Piles of firewood line the coppice edge, and bundles of kindling have replaced chairs and tables in the camp. There is more wood than settlers can store in the sheds, and more than the kitchens can use in a year. It will rot if left in the open. So, unfortunately, Yeah, I got this too early. We don't need any of the prerequisites, so we're just going to let it go. And we do get 10 production. Well, that's okay. As you play, you get so powerful. It's not even funny. And one thing I absolutely adore about this game is that it's not about fighting. It's just kind of about immersion and discovery. Let's go spring. Okay. And so this here, now we have this. This settlement, oh, crud, that's right. It doesn't produce anything and it has a shortage of safety. Yeah, that's right. So normally when you get more powerful, I'll show you when we get to the shard capital. Okay. So we're looking at safety and production. Here we go. Start this foray. Okay. Well, we're only going to get one of these. Ideally, we'll get this one because it's super easy. Oh, it's not actually. Man, we got a really bad opening again. Okay, well, let's get this smoldering crater. Yeah, and will divine. Let's see, we're looking for. Oh, well, yeah, we'll definitely get that. And then if we get a growth, we'll be mostly good. And then hope for stability, which we have crazy good odds of getting that. So, okay, keep on. Now we know we're getting a stability. And just in case, I'm going to put something here on the very, well, okay, stability here. St- we're not getting an event, unfortunately, besides this one. So, Forgotten Pouch. The rest stop is quiet, save for birdsong and breeze. Someone here was here recently and forgot something. A pouch lies on the bench, a modest thing with no markings. It doesn't seem to contain much, so perhaps its absence won't even be noticed. Now, build the box a little lost and found, keep the pouch. I'm gonna build him a lost and found. I'm not a thief. And we get 20 balance, which is nice because 30 is used for early events. Okay, it won't solve everything, but it's a start. The settlers leave a tiny wooden box with a polite sign and trust that it will be put to good use. Okay. And let's actually. Nah, we don't need 20 more of that. Let's just get these gains 15 and 5 beauty, and then see if we get anything from. Oh, Phil. Whoop-dee. Okay. Okay. What does this give us on top? Perilous. Okay. Eesh. And then. Oh! Does Perilous give us the wild card? Actually, that's not bad at all. Okay. Balance and safety. This looks like a good spot. Okay. That would get us enough balance. So it, oh, this would get us all our safety and most of our balance. Then we can get a little balance from here. Okay, so let's see. What are the events? Change radiance. Okay, so we've got like 5 total change symbols, and we've got, well, just the one radiance. Let's radiance and craft. We'll go for the storyteller camp if we can make it, but we don't actually have anything for this. Let's see. Well, we could go up to the smoldering crater, change, and then growth and stability. We don't have any growth and stability, or I mean any stability, but we can do. Now does this, that brings one on top. Okay, we're probably not gonna actually. Yeah, let's do this. We'll go for here, and we'll go for the apiary. Okay, and let's check top of the deck. Stability, we will not. Yeah, because if we can get. Oh, we have just a connection, we'll be good there. So yeah, let's keep it so that we can hopefully get this. Keep all. Go here and here. And what does this put on top? Okay, because we'll still get that stability. Oh, perfect. We are definitely not going to cast that next one, but we can use it. I wouldn't necessarily normally mind casting this, but we're not going to draw it anyways. So let's see. Gonna have to do this, and then even though we're not actually going to be able to fill this in, I want to fill in as many of these because this fill here has a chance to trigger that connections, but right now it's a 25% chance. So let's make that a 33% chance. And there we go. Well, it was a decent run, and we only lost one, which actually we netted one inspiration because of the glyph that we cast. So we're better off now than we were when we started. Well, let's do this radiance. Also, I realize now that in the very, very early expeditions, connections is not that important. Once you unlock a skill that allows the settlements to produce a good in addition to just needing a good, connection becomes vastly more important. So, okay, let's see. The bell tower. Deep in the forest, the survey team finds an ancient bell tower, its bronze bell still hanging at the top. On closer inspection, the scouts realize that the bell is barely attached and may soon fall. Now, well, I think the only one we can actually do is this one. So let's ring my bell. The scouts hit the bell with a staff and watch as the forest explodes with birds. Even after the bell falls silent, rustling can be heard from every direction as animals hurry to flee the frightening sound. Choose an animal glyph. See, animal glyphs are my favorite of these. Do we get a bee? Oh, we didn't get a bee, but we got a crow. Crows are really good because they let you look at the top 3, rearrange them, and then they summon an omen, which also lets you look at top ones. So you can basically stack your deck with crows. Okay. A mudslide. A recent landslide has deposited a massive pile of loose earth and uprooted shrubbery across the path. The mud has already settled, but it's still a major obstacle. So we know that we'll get safety if we build a causeway, but we don't have that, and we don't have this. So we're just going to have to try a different route, which has no consequences for us just beyond taking up resources. So let's see. Swim across, build a makeshift bridge. Let's wade through. And then, yeah, lost 10 safety, but we can take that. Oh, hey, Max Shawabkeh was in the chat. Max, I just got your chat. Glad you were able to show up. Thanks for watching, and we are going to have a bunch more. So, we're actually going to finish this run after we get our 6th foray, in case we don't, or in case we don't make it all the way. So, let's see. Okay, so we've got orange, brown, and blue. So let's look for anything unusual, form a cleansing ritual, orange, brown, and blue. So we'll be able to get this. We don't want to draw something with the top symbol because we're not likely to draw more of it. So now we get one redraw. We're on our 4th event, so that's just fine. And then what do we get? A few brave members of the team climb the stairs to this temple's upper level, hoping to investigate the strange noises before setting up camp. Afraid to ignite the dry wood, they conduct the search in the dark. Although they fail to find the source of the alleged noises, they return with a little statuette surprisingly unlike the image of the Enlightened One who they are used to. For every 2 Radiance Essence slots filled, gain 15 Harmony. This adds up. So, that's our last one. Let's bless Beauty. Let's get ourselves some HP back. And then arrange our card draws, because we have 1 card draw left from this card. So now we can discard and discard again, and we're back at full health. We'll be done after this level of what I'm doing. My daughter here is watching on with fascination. I think she likes this game too. Oh, I'm getting the thumbs up from that. Okay, so let's see. We are looking now. This is our first triple goal for it, I think, so far. But we can now do that. So 25. Okay, I think this will be a pretty good spot. Forest and seashore. I love the changes to the scenery that are so beautiful. So let's see. Our events are both here. Can we... This doesn't really cover many of the yields. It's not the safest way to do it, but let's see. If we want to get the safety, I think what we're going to probably end up doing is that stability glyph that we can cast for it. We're probably going to ignore this for the time being, as thematically unsatisfying as that is. Unequal rocks. Soon after the great rocks were tied with a rope and declared to be a married couple, some settlers began to complain. Since the rocks are unequal in size, they say they represent an unequal relationship. Several people volunteered to resolve the problem. We can let a poet resolve it or a mason resolve it. I think I don't think either one of those can affect this exactly right now. So the poet. The poet stands before the crowd and recites a verse declaring that harmony is found not in equality but in togetherness. The crowd doesn't seem entirely convinced, but they seem content with having been acknowledged. Okay, so that's pretty good. I like that card, Together. Especially in the later game, this would be more powerful at keeping your settlements cohesive. Whew. It also helps us to get our next event. So let's see. We've got two triangles. Probably. Let's go with the adventure one because of it. It'll be easier to make that up. Okay, Driftwood Shoal. Driftwood. Over several days, new pieces of driftwood make it to the shoal with an uncanny regularity. They aren't the usual planks or branches, though, but solid wood shaped like tools, a mallet with no joints, a sickle with no metal parts. The driftwood gatherers swear they've never seen anything like this before, and they say the sea spirits must be sharing tools with their new neighbors. So, uh, throw the pieces back. You know, you figure that you're probably going to get something better with with something that has a higher requirement. Oh, I know what this one is. That's too bad. So we'll leave a ceremonial gift in return. The settlers leave bowls of rice and a cup of sake on the shore for the tide to claim. The offering is gone by morning. A few days later, a large tree branch washes onto the shore, tucked between its forked twigs and several pre-shattering coins. Okay. All right. So, Old Coin. All landmark transaction costs are reduced by 20. Um, Landmarks, you'll see it probably in a later episode. I don't know that we'll get far enough to get that. So, let's go here. And then we're going to fill this in with continue. And then let's see. If we go here, we would need growth, change, spirit, and we don't have another connection, so we're not going to do that. Um, we do have two radiances because we. Yeah, let's just go for that. Regardless, we're not going to end our run on this, but, you know. Okay, let's. Oh, okay, alright. So. Well, darn. Let's see. Okay, we can gamble for this. So. Here. Here. And then this radiance might fill that in, or it could fill any of those in. So we've only got a 20% chance of it happening, but. Okay. Sometimes I feel like the game knows when you want something because you filled in most of them and it has a bit of a bias towards it. So we get here this Shipwreck Shrine and the Eternal Glade, which is one per expedition. Yay! Amatsue. Okay. Spicy is kind of nice. Let's see, what do we have? We've got 5 spirit, so we don't need any spirit. We could use uh continuing 3. Okay. Let's do continue 3. That's good for filling in a lot of things. I have it personally to where the number 6 I can use in every game, and it turns it almost into easy mode. But as difficult as this game ramps up the challenge, I don't mind doing that. Yeah, that's not going to work. That's probably also not going to work. Wait, wait. Here we go. Okay. So this side only has knowledge. So if we're gonna get our beauty, we've got to come, or our adventure, it has to come from here. This is not gonna be enough. So can we get all the way down here? Stability, spirit, connection, craft, and stability. That's kind of a lot to ask. Then we'll have two. Oh, we might be able to do that actually. Let's just go for it, huh? Okay. Because it's not only just of what you got in your deck, but sometimes what you have on hand right then. So, okay, all right. And let's just get this filled in here before I forget. Okay. We're sitting prettier now. Okay. Well, even if you get a junk draw, that's still good. So, we'll probably not going to make it. And see, since we can get both of these yields with that, we're not even going to worry about this. So we're going to still have to have a pretty specific draw. Did we do it? I don't. Well, okay, so we can. Nope, we didn't. But that's okay. We can gain ourselves some beauty, get some inspiration. I should have did this inspiration first, but I got, fortunate that that didn't go. So now we're back up to full health, and we're going to lose 13 total. Yeeks. But I wanted to get you guys to see. Okay. None of these are great. I guess this one. Radiance spreads because it kind of copies what you've already got. Okay. One more of these forays, and then we can do the capital. So, let's see. We're looking for beauty and adventure. So, something tells me, yeah. Well, no. Huh. See, you want, well, okay, this we might work. Because we can use the forest for the adventure and the steppe for the beauty. So let's see, forest adventure. Or rather, beauty. Oh, adventure right here. Okay. Oh, gosh, really? That's a lot. Let's see. For the beauty, we could go. Man, we're going to use all our growth, aren't we? Let's go like this. Actually, no, we're going to go for this because this will cover everything. And then if we have time for it, we'll get this event. Oh, continue. Okay, we're actually going to do really well. You'll see. So, duh.
Dad,
Yes, my daughter.
can you please help me?
I surely will. Give me one moment.
Also, I'm hungry.
You're hungry? Do you still have any of that sandwich?
No.
Boom. We just beat this, and now we'll go for gravy. There's our little labyrinth. Okay. Painted pillars. I like this one. So, most of the pillars are gentle, circles, flowers, birds, and abstract waves. But one is not. Its surface is carved and painted with violence, an angry hero plunging a sword into a dragon's head. Opinions are split between those saying it celebrates the strife that led to the shattering and those who consider it a warning. The former group demands it to be torn down, while the latter urges caution. To destroy is to forget. So I like this one. 50 beauty is going to be the hardest one to do. Record it and repaint it in a new style. Not necessarily what I believe should be done, but oh yeah, we got a relic. Record of Ruin. When you gain safety, gain half as much harmony. Yeah, that's a really good one. So especially, if you happen to be in a foray where safety is your primary goal and harmony is your secondary, you can get through it pretty quickly. Okay, so let's see how... We've got those painted pillars, but let's see what else we can build here. Just for some yields. What do we need the most of? Beauty, probably knowledge. So let's try and go for the dancing windsocks, but we can't. Okay, well, in that case, the lovely cairns makes more sense than the wind chimes because of what the yield is. So beep and beep. Okay. Ooh, those cairns are lovely. And let's get some inspiration back. So we're now over halfway. And our city shows up. Such a gorgeous style and setting. And now, we're not going to be able to make connections, so this is going to be more important. Okay, now we're going to choose a capital. And they're big. Capital on the seashore might be fun. You kind of usually want to play something more like this because they, unlock more of the map. So shard capital. Now, for each of these shortages, and I'm not going to make this, I'm going to biff it on this run, you need to fill. So I'll show you. This one has a lack of safety, and to fill it up, we'd have to give it 2 of these. See, adventure takes change. So what we're going to do is this actually might work. I've never got it done on my first run. Is this craft for knowledge? No, it's radiance. Okay, so what are we going to put on the top? Still not great, but that's what it is. Okay, so we've got 1 adventure, stability. Okay, so we'll have those 2 filled in when we continue with this. So after that, we're going to need radiance and stability. We might get enough. It's actually possible. So let's just make sure. Radiance and stability. Bang, bang. Okay. Discard. And that put... What did that put on there? It put the omen in, which is not useful to us. So we can use this to get it out. Now we're going to continue. It'll continue those 2. Boom and boom. So we've actually gotten 2 shortages filled, and we're likely to get actually enough to survive. Let's see. Well, okay. Oh. Yeah, we will survive. Barely. If this does this right. So please fill in Kaishimon or Takimonohara. Darn. Well, it was fun. But we're going to lose 20 and we only have 16. Would have been cool. Let's see. The quests, when we finish this, we'll have ended our first convergence. But yeah, we're out. So now we get to go and have a little chit chat. And we'll see what skills are new. You can always tell because they got the shininess. Add an extra sight in each foray after each convergence. So this is a really good skill. Unfortunately, we can't afford it. But basically, You saw how we get our choice, or we build on 2 sites at the same time. After the first convergence, you get to build on 3. After the second convergence, you get to build on 4 at a time. It's more versatile and you get higher yields, but we can't get that one quite yet. Allows you to connect a settlement to the shard capital. Settlements connected to the shard capital will share the yields with others. See, if we had had this, we actually would have made it. And makes more connection glyphs. This is probably what we'll need next. So you get to make connect glyphs. Alright, well, this has been fun. We are going to call it good for now. And I will see you guys all in part 2. Just please, share, subscribe, all that stuff. I'm going to be playing this one till it's done, and there is a ton of content in this game. Once again, thank you to Max for making it and sharing your brilliance with the world. It's